installment of LHCyberx Explains It All, and today we're going to be revisiting the Hack CMS website that I created last week, and we're going to be talking about something called audits. Now, in terms of a website, an audit is a basic report that is developed that analyzes the accessibility, the performance, and the overall quality of the website that is produced. And so I am going to run it on my Hack CMS website. Now, an audit is extremely important. It tells a developer where they might have gaps in the performance of their website and where their accessibility is not being tailored correctly to the correct audience or the correct people. So we're going to test this out using two different types of software. The first is going to be Wave, and the second will be Lighthouse. Now, these can both be found in the Google Chrome plugin store. Very easily downloadable. So we'll start off with Wave, and if you just click it, it just automatically pops up over here on the left hand side, real easy, and it says, if you have any errors, any contrast errors, any minor alerts. So we're going to go through the details of these. So the first error is an empty heading. So for example, if you click on this, it takes you down here, and so I have a empty space at the bottom of this paragraph that it believes is a header. That is simple enough to just get rid of, delete that. And the alerts are kind of like a tier down from the errors. So the missing first level header, kind of just an overall generic one that applies to the website. And then the possible heading, I don't have one for the image, so it thinks that to improve overall accessibility, this would be important. And then just another thing is the alternative text. It believes for any images, it kind of suggests possible alternative text just for people who may not be able to understand this image correctly. And one other final really important thing that Wave shows you is the contrast. So this is the contrast between the text on your web page and your background of your web page. So as you can see, mine all pass. But if you take this slider and move this back and forth, you can actually see you can get it to pass and fail, and by changing the values. So that's really important, so the accessibility is there for users to be able to see and read that. So now that we've looked at Wave, we're going to close that out and we're going to look at Lighthouse. So Lighthouse is a lot cooler of a tool in my opinion. So up here, we're just going to click this. We're going to generate report. Now it's going to do some pretty wacky stuff here, just because it's running through a bunch of different scenarios to test your performance of your website, the accessibility of your website. It's going to go through a couple different scenarios and then generate its report, as it does right here, and bring up all of the different values. So as you can see, the overall performance of my website is 76, and the accessibility, which is another important value you want to look at, is an 85. Not terrible, but could definitely be a lot better. As you look down, it gives you a lot of different metrics that if you change them, you could save different ones in different orders, different speeds and stuff. So, and as you keep going down, this is really kind of the coding aspect of it. So for example, reduce JavaScript execution time. You could change the coding in the website to be able to make the JavaScript execute faster and increase the overall performance. And this is what we're really going to be talking about here today is accessibility. So as you can see, the accessibility isn't too bad down here, but if you look, for example, under names and labels, it says that a couple buttons don't have an accessible name. So this relates to my video. It doesn't have a name to it. It also could relate to the buttons left and right that just say next, which I believe this is exactly what this one talks about. So the next arrows on the left and right of the web page just say next page. They don't tell you where it's going, and that's not really intuitive for a user, and that could be really helpful if that was changed. And just other attributes that might be common to try and distinguish themselves so they're easier to understand. So these are some really important metrics and a really important tool that can be used. Tells you the possible time that could be saved with each change, all the different suggestions that it suggests. It tells you the SEO, how you're doing with all your best practices. So in my opinion, Lighthouse gives you a lot more helpful information for that. An audit is extremely important for developers to be able to understand, are they meeting their users' needs for accessibility, whether they're tailoring their website to maybe hearing impaired people or sight impaired people or just other people with specific disabilities that may need to access their website. And just for example, so like these arrows, as you can see, I hover over and it says next page right here. Just one way to fix that is just to change it to whatever the next page is. So in my case, it would be my accessibility page, just so the user knows where they're going. If you click on it, it goes to accessibility, and if you click on it, it goes back. But just give those arrows a name, just so they know where they're going. But that's it for this week. Accessibility, really important topic. Wave and Lighthouse, really cool tools that everybody should definitely check out if you're developing a website. And I will put the link to these tools and this website in the description so you can check them out for yourself. And thanks for tuning in, guys.